That was pathetic. Let's try it again. Hello! A little better. Everybody happy? Everybody hungry? Alright, we got lots of beans for you, alright? Alright, welcome aboard the Jangle Queen for our dinner trip. A couple quick things I gotta go over before we get into the good stuff. First things first is safety. Life jackets are located above your heads. Got about 400 life jackets up there, plenty to go around. Good news for you guys, Jangle Queen's been in service since 1935 and never once have we had to use a life jacket. So, hopefully they still work. But, this is a non-smoking vessel, guys. That includes your e-cigarettes, vapor cigarettes, cigars, and especially those fancy cigarettes they got now up in Colorado, Massachusetts, Oregon, Pennsylvania, California, places like that. What else we got going on? And we do ask that everybody please remain seated throughout the entire trip unless you're using the bar or the bathroom for two reasons. One, if you're standing, I can guarantee you're blocking someone else's view. Number two, can get a bit rocky here. We don't want anyone falling over or anything, so we do appreciate you guys staying in the seats. We do have trash cans located throughout the boats too, at the tops and bottoms of each staircase, as well as one back by the bar, and restrooms are on the first deck all the way to the back of the boat. The doors are clear. Now that we got all that stuff out of the way, I can introduce you to your crew today. Upstairs driving tonight, you got Captain C. Walking around here doing something. You got your deckhand Kelly. Your other deckhand tonight is Ivy. My name is Max. I'll be your host and commentator. But you don't need the four of us. The only two people you need on this boat are right back there at the bar. You got Trey and Parker, your bartenders. You can never run out of applause. Guys, we do encourage drinking on the Jangle Queen. Of course, if you are of age, it's mutually beneficial. The more you guys drink, the funnier I get. So it works out nicely. We'll start off here on the right-hand side, this White House with the black and white striped awnings over the windows. That guy's name is Mike Maroney. Mike Maroney owned a bunch of used car lots in southern Florida as well as up in Georgia. And it's, I always thought it was funny talking about him because when I was a kid, my mom, she always told me, get a good education, get a good job, don't wind up as a used car salesman, right? And here I am with a decent education and a decent job telling you all about a used car salesman. It's funny how that works. Switching over to the left-hand side, coming up here, the house with the big smoked window right in the center. Got the orange trim on his boat out back. His name is Michael Mann. Michael Mann was the executive producer and director of Miami Vice back in the 80s. And that's the ultimate bachelor pad over there. That's a 1-bedroom, 5-bathroom house. The whole second story is the master bedroom. The rest of the house is living space. Piece of totally useless knowledge regarding that house. It did appear in 17 episodes of the show, and they actually lowered the ceilings by 2.5 feet just to make Don Johnson look a little bit taller. House we're just passing, the cream-colored house with the concrete gazebo on your left-hand side, belongs to Roger Wittenberg. Roger Wittenberg is the founder of Ladies of America Fitness, or LA Fitness for short. They're usually real busy in January and February. People are still working out those New Year's resolutions. Alright, up here on the left-hand side, this White House with the glass wall surrounding the entire property. I can't tell you guys who lives there, because his people called our people and said, hey, stop telling people who I am. But I can tell you that was the most expensive private real estate transaction to date on the water in Fort Lauderdale. This gentleman over here on the left-hand side purchased that house for $27.4 million and absolutely hated it. I don't know about you guys. I could be unhappy for a lot less than $27.5 million, right? So he totally gutted it, redid the house, and then he showed up with his 172-foot yacht named Dallas's Restaurant, and the only place that yacht was going to fit was out there on the west side of the house, but that wasn't going to work because it would block his beautiful view of downtown. His next option was the north side, except the water's too shallow over there, and if you think the house is expensive, try having the Army Corps of Engineers come out here and dredge a channel. So he did the next best thing, and the most logical thing, in my opinion, and 3 weeks and $8 million later, his neighbor's house became his sculpture garden and the dock for his yacht. You guys all have a sculpture garden, right? Alright guys, we are heading west on the Intercoastal Waterway. We're heading into the new river. If we wanted to, we could turn left here, follow these red and green channel markers. Those are those things sticking up out of the water. If we were to turn left, go 3.5 hours, we'd be in Bayside Marketplace. That's downtown Miami. If we were to go 7 hours past Miami, we'd be in Key West. About 5 hours after we left Key West, we'd be in Cuba. And 2 minutes after we got to Cuba, we'd all be in jail. So, we're gonna keep heading west tonight. Alright, switching over here to the right-hand side, this house with the orange barrel tile roof belonged to the poor little rich girl. The poor little rich girl, you may not know her by that name, you probably know her by her real name, which was Gloria Vanderbilt. If you don't know who Gloria Vanderbilt was, I'm sure you know her son. His name's Anderson Cooper. Alright, on the left-hand side over here, it is kind of winding down over here at the sandbar here this Saturday afternoon. And this is what you see is what you get. And it's real funny. If you like people watching, it's a great time. Because if you were out here at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon today, you can cruise by on your own boat and you can watch every single bad decision you've ever made happen right in front of your eyes. It's fantastic. So you're catching the tail end of it here, but you come back tomorrow around 12, 1 o'clock, it'll be the same thing all over again. We do have a couple sandbars. You see the overflow over there to the south. That's another one. When it gets too packed over there, they start going over there, and they start going over by those houses, and they just find spots to hang out. Here on the left-hand side, this corner house built for Bruce Paddock, the founder of Paddock Laboratories. He is from Connecticut, and he bought that piece of property about 5 years ago. And when he bought it, it was just a lot. There was no house on it. And he went to Bomar Builders, who is the same people building that house over here on the right-hand side. And he told them he wanted a house. They said, perfect, it'll be done in 2.5 years. Those 2.5 years came and went, 3.5 years came and went, still not a house. And I'm no genius, I couldn't build a house like that. But I do know one thing, if you want a house like that to be built, you gotta have people working on it, right? There were always 4 guys working on that house. There were 2 guys walking around painting something. There was always a supervisor, gotta have a supervisor. But the 4th guy, he had my favorite job. He was down at the end of the dock fishing. On the left-hand side, you see that house? Look up at the roof, then look in the windows. That is what happens when you leave the turkey in too long. Unfortunately, that house did burn up a couple weeks ago. Fortunately, though, there was no one inside of it, so there were no injuries. Managed to get the fire under control, and I'm sure they'll tear it down within the next month and build something that looks just like it, and nobody will ever know what's going. On the right-hand side, houses again with the orange barrel tile roof and the big empty lot next door. That's a house I can guarantee a large percentage of you on this boat help put a shingle or 2 on. How many people on here ever shopped using Kohl's cash? Anyone? Yeah, I got a couple hands up. That's Herb Kohl's house. He's one of the co-founders of Kohl's department stores. And if you don't understand how Kohl's cash works, I can explain it to you. It's very, very simple. If you have Kohl's cash, that means that they have your cash. That's how that works. And what I love about them living here, they got that big empty lot next door every year. They round up all the returns and have a yard sale. Yeah. The yellow house next door belonged to Pamela Huizinga. She's one of the members of the Huizinga family. We will talk about Wayne when we get a couple minutes further. But she sold the house to the Fishers a couple years ago. The Fishers are the founders of LoftLeaseLiving.com. White house with the 3 archways leading into the back doors. That was the first Cat 5 house built on the water in Fort Lauderdale. And a Cat 5 house is exactly what it sounds like. It can withstand up to a Category 5 hurricane, 180-mile-an-hour sustained winds. It's all poured concrete, ceiling, walls, roof, floor, everything.